for the first time in a very, very long time, and for the last time for a good while, possibly forever. I'm John Renton with my review WWE Smackdown from the Moto Center in Portland, Oregon. Yeah, I said on the Raw review that I was going to review this show, and here I am, rock you like a hurricane. This is the first Smackdown that I have watched live in months. Months upon months. It's also the first Smackdown review that I have done in about 6 months since AJ Lee made her triumphant return to WWE after a number of years off. Okay, so I forgot they went back to 3 hours, and I was regretting it about an hour into the show, but there were things I liked on the show, but I mainly wanted to see if they were going to do what I knew they were going to do for the main event, and also I wanted to see how they were going to build the Chode to WrestleMania. Don't get used to WWE reviews, because after WrestleMania 42 Night 1 and 2, and maybe the Raw after WrestleMania, it depends on if there's a mystery movie or not, I'm pretty much going to be off of doing weekly WWE stuff. Because the programs are super goddamn weak. There were things on this show that worked, but good goddamn Christ. They also apparently drew maybe 9,000 people in Portland. That's just the highest possible total they could have gotten, and that's lower than what they got on January 10th last year, my birthday. Yeah, they drew 9,200 people. And they're charging obscene amounts of money for shows like this. And don't get me wrong, there are things on this show that do work. And there are things that people are popping for. But the bubble is bursting as far as what TKO is charging for tickets and everything. It's getting ridiculous. And this is not a WWE AEW thing. This is a WWE TKO versus wrestling fans thing, where they are basically pricing people out and saying, we're just going to get the most amount of money out of people they're willing to pay. Pretty soon, people are going to find something else. They're going to go on to the hot new thing, and wrestling fans are going to say, yeah, you're going to come crawling back to us, huh? So, Chamber recaps, Danhausen's debut and all that. The talents arrive. Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett on the call. At least we get a professional wrestling announce team for this, as opposed to Michael fucking Cole. So, Orton comes out to a big pop. Since he won the Chamber, he basically says that, he, is ready to main event WrestleMania for only the third time in his career, because he's been in 20 WrestleManias, but he's only main evented twice. So he wants to main event again. I gotta be honest, I think Cody and Orton will main event one night of WrestleMania. I don't know if they should, but I can see it. So his peers call him the best, even if he doesn't. He's never had that ego. Ha, 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 ha. And who will he face? Will it be Drew? Will it be Cody? By the way, mixed reactions for both. Here's Trick. Apparently we are whooping people that decide to make their living on street corners. Why are we whooping people like that? Trick basically talks about his shoes. I don't know what the hell he said, and he got hit with an RKO after wanting to pick Orton's bone. I didn't know Vipers had bones. You can tell that Orton likes working with Trick, and he's going to feud with him right after Mania. I'd be very surprised we don't go with that as the post-Mania feud into whatever the next pay-per-view is. Carmelo is going to have an open challenge, and it's against El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Yeah, the crowd went mild. Nothing against this guy, by the way, because I know that he's just trying to carry on his father's legacy, and he's not bad in the ring. They sort of popped for Carmelo. The match wasn't bad. We did get a brief package on Dr. Wagner Jr., and that was nice. Didn't really give us much information unless you may keep it up on AAA. Mello did end up hitting that finish, that leg drop, nothing but net, where he has got to find something new, because he is going to turn his hips into mulch by the time he's 35. But whatever. It was what it was. So he successfully defends the U.S. title, and fortunately, Road Dogg is out the goddamn door. He tendered his resignation. Don't sign him, Tony Khan. Don't reunite him and Billy Gunn, because we don't need to see that. Nobody needs to see that. And Road Dogg has been a part of some of the worst creative in a while, because, one, he's not a very creative individual. Two, he's a terrible fucking human being, especially because of his beliefs. And I'm sorry, we need less old people that have no idea what they're doing booking professional wrestling. I'm not saying you need people that are like 28 doing this. You need people that are experienced, like say on the indies and stuff like that. But Road Dogg No, he does not need to be booking any of this stuff or be part of any creative process. Hopefully Michael Hayes is next because he has been there since, 95? And I'm not about people losing their jobs, but just eventually you need some fresh faces. Wherever you are, you need some fresh faces. This goes for AEW. New Japan needs a goddamn better booker than Gato. And yeah, so like I said, after Hayes won with that leg drop, Kathy Kelly's talking to Ilya. And he talks about how a warrior spirit is something his mother had, so when people call him a warrior, he finds that inspirational. And, okay, good. All right, we're going with this thing where Ilya maybe isn't at his best and is going to rise back up. All right, and losing streaks don't necessarily work, but whatever. He did just come back from injury, won the U.S. title, held on to it for a little bit, and there we go. And then we had Miz show up. And we had Kit Wilson show up. And I'm sorry, if you like Kit Wilson, that's fine. But why? The other guy, Prince, I think is his name, had neck surgery. He's at least out for the rest of 2026. That's unfortunate. But no. Truth is telling Priest, by the way, that we're in turmoil. He means tag team turmoil. Truth, by the way, is bald as fuck. Which, good on him if he wants to embrace that. Drew is sick of this shit. I can identify. Tag Champ Celebration. It's amazing that Lash Legend won the tag titles by herself, and now she's out celebrating with Nia. And look, people can say what they want to say about fans and, people holding grudges. I'm consistent with my hatred of Nia Jax, who, went against the vaccine stuff and also went against the mask mandates and compared that to, people standing up for Ukraine and everything. So as far as I'm concerned, she's just as bad as some of the other people like Triple H that are in the goddamn cabinet. So Nia Jax can get fucked for all I cared. And God, if you want to do that, God bless you. Your dick's going to fall off. So anyway, I don't care what happened. Lash can talk, but Lash needs a new partner. Charlotte is dressed as a peacock that's molting. Alexa is going to possibly be featured at WrestleMania. I know she moves merch. I know she's popular with people. And there are some people that I talk to that are Alexa Bliss fans. That's fine. I can't take her seriously. I just fucking can't. Julia and Kiana. Remember when Julia could have been something? And I'm not knocking Kiana. Kiana has shown off recently. I saw some clips of her at the Chamber. Saw some clips of her at the Rumble. She's done some good stuff. But Julia basically means absolutely nothing. And that was Kiana and Julia against Charlotte and Alexa. And oh, goddamn Christ, what happened to this match? I mean, Kiana is who she is. She's athletic enough. She seems to have found her groove after her knee injury. Julia is talented, but didn't seem like she cared. Alexa is literally one of the, just worst. Just terrible as a worker. I'm sorry. She's just terrible when the bell rings. Charlotte, she's motivated a little bit. Charlotte and Alexa won. Let's move on. I didn't say that I was going to cover everything in detail. And, Jelly Roll's going to be there next week, by the way. The guy that hugged Christy Nome. That goddamn dog-killing bitch that absolutely deserves every bad thing that's coming for her. Got fired from that, stupid racist-ass job at the Department of Homeland Security and all that. Claiming she's doing a good job, everything. Well, she stores several nuts in her goddamn cheeks because of all the botched plastic surgery. Jelly Roll, by the way, worships at the altar of Trump. So as far as I'm concerned, Jelly Roll can get fucked. And you can get fucked if you support Trump, by the way. I will run every single one of you motherfuckers off this goddamn channel. I don't care if 5 people watch my goddamn shows, because I'm just having fun. But guess what? I will continue to say, abolish ICE, fuck Trump, fuck you if you like any of his shit. So, Cody wants to win. This stuff with Sami, I'm sick of Sami Zayn. Yeah, I'm sick of him. I don't want to see him anymore. I don't want to see him, I don't want to hear him. Enough's enough. They've had a chance to pull the trigger. The clip's been emptied like it's around the Von Erich household. And there you go. Cody's like, are you trying to politic your way into a shot? I don't know what I'm trying to do. Yeah, evidently creative doesn't either. Tag Team Turmoil. This went 25 minutes as I predicted. Motor City Machine Guns took on Fraxium. They did a messed up finish where Shelley tried to put Saban's foot on the rope, But that got knocked off and everything. So then Sabin was upset at Shelley later. And then Los Garzas, Hector Garza and Heberto are, no, Hector Garza, Angel Garza, I'm sorry. Hector Garza has unfortunately been dead for a number of years. But yeah, they wrestled and then they moved on. And then the Wyatt Six, Dexter Lumis and Joe Wayne Gacy. And then Tama Tonga and Tongaloa or whoever the hell, the MFTs. The tag division needs a goddamn hard reset. Like, I'm talking War Games like reset, and I'm not talking Dusty Rhodes' War Games, I'm talking a 1983 film. Los Garzas end up moving on, and then they lose to Truth and Priest. So there you go. That's it. That's your tag team turmoil match. So, Jordan Grace apparently suffered an injury in a match, I believe against Chelsea Green. No, not against Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green's injured. I don't know who the fuck she wrestled. There was a picture of Chelsea in a boot with Jordan Grace, who's in a wheelchair. I hope Jordan Grace is going to be all right. I legit hope she's going to be okay. I hope Chelsea can recover as well. And then Sammy's starting to pop with Orton and Cody. Orton tells him to try listening to the voices. And then Alistair shows up and says stuff, and Zelina laughs. And Rhea, sweet merciful Christ, Rhea and Jade were in some hot water, and I don't know what's real and what's a work. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. Unless there is stuff where, people are knocking each other's families and really getting too personal, and then it comes to blows where people are fighting backstage like Shawn and Brett, and hair's being ripped out. I don't really care. I think that there was some realism in it. Maybe they feel that Jade's attitude is not all the best. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. And basically, Jade said, they go back and forth. Seemed like they were either ready to fight or fuck each other. I don't know. I'm that bitch. Of course you are, Jade. Of course you are. You impressed me physically, is what Rhea said, but that you could hit me with your best shot, fire away, and I won't go down, but if I hit you with my best shot, you'll go down. Apparently, they're Pat Benatar fans. And, I'm going to take it with force because I'm that bitch. Okay. Not what I expected. And Gargano was sleeping on a box. Stuff him in that box and ship him over to AEW so I don't have to watch him anymore. I know Ciampa left, and he's probably riding out his contract, or maybe not. Maybe he's got a year left on his contract. I don't know. I don't care. They let Candice talk on this program, which further proves, my God, microphones need to be strengthened so they can handle the shrill shrieking of people that shouldn't be talking on a pro wrestling program. But Shelley's checking on Gargano. Sabin's upset at him. We need to talk. And Candice is talking. Shut up, Meg. And Gargano's going to go to the ring. Bo is really trying to channel Bray in a pre-tape. And credit to him, he sounds like him. One not coming across as a copycat. And Gargano's in the ring with Candice, and he wants to become Johnny Wrestling again. And he offers an open challenge. And then here comes Oba, and here's my favorite thing on the show. Because Oba destroyed him, Oba beat him, and Oba humiliated him while Candice watched. Candice being the useless slug that she is at ringside. And I'm sorry, but these two, whether they're nice people or not, whether they can work or not, as far as presentation on this program, they do not need to be on there anymore. And I'm nothing going to NXT. They have been there too long. From, before Candice got pregnant, and, Gargano did the thing where, he left for a bit and then, came back. Like, I don't fault them for taking that money and everything, and Triple H likes him, he likes him, but the time has come to move on. You can't have everybody stay in the same damn place for like 10 to 15 years, especially when they're as uninteresting as these two. So Oba destroys him. Good. Best use of Gargano that I have seen. Mia Yim apparently is going to challenge Jade. Why is B-Fab there like she's going to wrestle? Do we need to see that? Danhausen wants Aldis to find him a mentor. It's going to be Miz. Who asked for this, and why am I being plagued with this? Why? If you like this stuff, fine. I'm not knocking you. So, mentor him or you're cursed. I think this program's cursed. So the package on Cody and what led us to this basically was around 7:23 or so. Both guys were preparing backstage. Both make their entrances. And I believe, by the way, both were preparing backstage. They went to break. They came back, hyped a couple matches, and then we went to the entrances. Referees holding the title. We went to another break. It was 17 minutes until we got to the start. I understand building the anticipation. This is a 3-hour show and a 3-minute overrun. Now, USA Network paid a significant amount of money for Smackdown and wants to do this, and WWE screwed over NBC Universal by getting out of the deal and not taking the deal with Peacock to go to ESPN, which has led to more issues, and I bet you has led to more VPN usage than it did with Peacock. I still have my Peacock subscription because I like the movies. Hamnet, by the way, is on Peacock currently as of this recording. Up for a lot of Oscars. Check it out. Really good shit. So anyway, Drew and Cody competed for the WWE title where the only way to win is by pinfall or submission. And I guess it kind of makes sense given the fact they had 2 out of 3 falls match. Drew has constantly been interfering in Cody's business. And I get it. They had the stipulation where Cody couldn't challenge for the title again. But then Drew kept poking and prodding. And Aldis finally had enough. So we get a jump start. We're in the entranceway. They took it seriously. I will say that much. My thing is it's kind of over this feud before the 3 stages of hell match. Commercial free. So a backbreaker on the apron. Shoulder focused by Drew after a Cody cutter. That was nice. Good psychology there. A figure 4. Then an announcer's table just prolapsed right around Cody. And Cody then got sent through a table, because sure, why not at this point? Drew hit a crossroads for 2. Cody hit a Claymore variation, sort of. And near ref bumps, and then Charles took a safe ref bump because Charles Robinson, bless him, is about 200 years old. And then it took 8 years for the second referee to come out. Crossroads, and then the second ref finally coming out, but then the Flash Claymore and just a 2 count. And Drew then telegraphed way too long that he was going to headbutt the ref. He did. And then here's Jacob Fatu to stop Drew from using a chair. Future Shock DDT. Claymore misses. High Cody Cutter. Low Cody Cutter. High Cody Cutter. As well as a Crossroads 1, 2, 3. Expectedly, once Orton won the chamber, I knew they were going to give the title back to Cody. This frees up Drew to attack Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu, I hate to say it, probably should win. But also, that just... I get it, because they did the same thing where Rhea lost the title to Io, and then you had to wonder how they were going to get Rhea involved in that. And speedy recovery, by the way, to Bianca Belair, because apparently she wanted to let that finger heal on its own. It didn't. She got surgery, and now it's having issues. Who knows? She might not wrestle again. Who knows? Might have to just wear a goddamn cast on there like she's Bob Orton Jr. But that is it for SmackDown. That is the last SmackDown review that I will be doing for a bit. Possibly for a while. It just depends on if WWE can keep things interesting. And so far they aren't. I'm not going to watch Vengeance Day tomorrow or today, depending on when you see this review. I'm going to go watch a movie. I'm not going to watch Stand and Deliver. Because I just don't want to. There are just so many things. And AEW is going to get reeled back as well. That coverage is going to get reeled back probably right around WrestleMania week. It's about time I do something for myself, guys. And SmackDown, it's been nice knowing you. I'll check out the clips if I want to. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rittland, and until we revisit Friday Night Wrestling again, maybe I'll go back to the glory days. Not Bruce Springsteen related, but nevertheless, happy trails to you.